Beyonce can do from her own mouth to her own thing, because if you notice, Beyonce never says anything.
All right, everyone, grab your popcorn and settle in, because Wendy Williams is back, and she's coming for the throne. That's right, the Queen of Shade herself is spilling the tea on none other than Beyonce and Jay-Z. And let me tell you, this isn't your typical lemonade drama. Wendy's exposing a side of Beyonce that's been hidden for years, and it's way darker than you could ever imagine.
If you know enough about Jay-Z and Beyonce and their past, then you know they've been accused of stealing more than a few times.
We all know Beyonce as the flawless, untouchable icon, the woman who runs the world. But what if I told you there's more to her empire than just talent and hard work? Wendy's pulling back the curtain, and it's not pretty. From whispered rumors to mysterious career downfalls, she's revealing why Beyonce might just be worse than Jay-Z. Haven't you noticed celebrities putting Beyonce on a pedestal?
Beyonce controls all women.
Beyonce and all of her Beyonce-ness.
I know the truth. I know Beyonce is the queen of the world.
He's gonna slowly but surely start to release information to you all that some of us have been trying to tell you for years.
So if you thought you knew everything about Queen Bey, think again. This is the story they don't want you to hear. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. Let's dive in. All right, let's get into it. Why is everyone in Hollywood walking on eggshells when it comes to Beyonce? I mean, we've all seen it. The endless praise, the over-the-top thank you speeches, the fear of forgetting her name in any acceptance speech. But here's the thing, Wendy believes it's not just admiration, it's straight up fear.
Beyonce and I started out around the same time, and just like all of her fans, I fell in love with her. The first time I saw her, from her singing to dancing to acting, she can do it all. She's a triple threat, and one of the most talented people I've ever seen.
And honestly, she's not wrong. Time and time again, we've seen celebrities who dare to cross her or even forget to thank her mysteriously fade into obscurity. Coincidence? I think not. It's almost like there's an unspoken rule in Hollywood. Don't mess with Beyonce. And if you do, well, good luck keeping your career afloat. From whispered rumors to sudden career downturns, the evidence is stacking up. It's beyond a conspiracy at this point. It's a pattern.
As you can see, it took an army to make me strong and willing again.
Look at her. She's terrified. Anyway, Beyonce herself was awarded a Grammy for Renaissance in 2023, and she stood up before her name was even announced. If that doesn't tell you something's rigged, I don't know what will.
We are witnessing history tonight. Breaking the record for the most Grammy wins of all time.
Well, Wendy saw through the Queen's antics long before we even knew what was going on. Remember the story of Kathy White? If you don't know who she is, buckle up, because this is one of Hollywood's most chilling mysteries.
Kathy White is deceased. She was a former PR guru and at one point linked to Jay-Z.
Kathy, also known as Lil Kathy or Koreana Hun, was a half-Korean, half-African-American woman who rubbed shoulders with some of the biggest names in the industry. She worked with stars like Claudia Jordan and even appeared in films alongside Chris Pratt and Kim Kardashian. But her life took a dark turn when rumors surfaced about her affair with Jay-Z. According to reports, Kathy and Jay-Z crossed paths in Las Vegas, and their connection quickly turned into something more. But here's where it gets wild. Kathy allegedly claimed she was pregnant with Jay-Z's child. And just days after she reportedly agreed to go public with her story, she was found dead at the age of 29. Now, her official cause of death was listed as a brain aneurysm. But let's be real, when someone with ties to one of the most powerful couples in the world dies under mysterious circumstances, people are going to talk. Conspiracy theories exploded, with some claiming foul play. Even former journalist Liz Kronkin, who was supposed to interview Kathy, has publicly stated she believes Kathy was eliminated, and she's pointed fingers at Jay-Z. But this is deeper than you think. This isn't just about Jay-Z. Wendy Williams has been warning us for years that Beyonce is more than capable of playing the game, and playing it dirty. Remember when Kanye West started running his mouth a little too much?
I've been sent here to give y'all the truth. Jay-Z called me, bro. You still ain't called me. Jay-Z called me. Hey, bro, Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them out my head.
Suddenly, he was blacklisted, his career took a nosedive, and even his mental health became a target. Coincidence? Wendy doesn't think so.
He's gonna slowly but surely start to release information to you all that some of us have been trying to tell you for years.
And let's not forget Beyonce's lyrics in Cowboy Carter, specifically the song Daughter. Lines like, "Your body laid out on these filthy floors," or "Your red stains on my custom coutures." And look what you made me do? Have fans side-eyeing the queen. Is she just being dramatic, or is she sending a message? Wendy called it years ago. Beyonce isn't just a performer, she's a strategist. And if you cross her, you might just regret it. And that's not all. Wendy believes that Beyonce had been faking pregnancies to actually ward off the rumors and the alleged mistresses.
Let's do it in slow motion. You'll notice she's either giving birth to a Frisbee or Stewie from Family Guy. Look at the shape. Look, do you see? There it is, there it is.
And if you know anything about Wendy, you know she is getting to the bottom of that mystery, and you best believe she spilled it.
The alleged woman over in allegedly Trinidad with the alleged 10-year-old alleged son, allegedly by Jay-Z, Beyonce's trying to keep up with her.
The Carters are hailed as a power couple, but the cracks in their perfect relationship resurfaced as soon as the elevator drama was leaked online. You know the one. Solange, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and a whole lot of drama in a tiny metal box. But this isn't just some random family squabble. It's the Met Gala after party at the Standard Hotel in Manhattan. Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Solange are leaving the event, looking all glamorous and untouchable. They step into the elevator, the doors close, and bam! Solange turns into a one-woman WWE match. Kicks flying, purse swinging, and let's not forget that purse was a 1.1-pound Anna Highmark metal bag. Ouch! And Beyonce? She's just standing there, cool as a cucumber, like this is just another Tuesday.
She is kicking his behind. And the security guard's trying to hold her back. Beyonce's next to Jay-Z in the corner.
Now, Wendy claimed that Beyonce didn't step in because she knew Jay-Z had it coming. Solange is probably attacking him over something he knows he was dead wrong about. Wendy said, and let's be real, when your sister is beating up your husband in an elevator and you don't stop it, there's a reason. Wendy's sources revealed that Solange got into some sort of argument with the fashion designer Rachel Roy. Now, if you're out of the loop, Rachel Roy used to be an intern at Rockefeller Records. Back in the day, and that's when Dame Dash and Jay-Z would allegedly pass girls around up there, and Rachel was one of those girls.
Why it might have been that Solange came out of her face at Rachel in the party in front of other people. Because Jay probably did some stupid slick man mess walking with his wife like this. Oh.
All right, let's talk about something that's been whispered about for years, but rarely said out loud. Beyonce doesn't always write her own music. And honestly, that's not even the shocking part. What's shocking is how good she is at making it look like she does. Now, before you come at me, let's be real. Once you reach a certain level of fame, you're not just an artist anymore. You're a brand. And that comes with the pressure to constantly deliver chart-topping hits, jaw-dropping performances, and visuals that break the internet. But here's the thing. When you're juggling all that, sometimes originality takes a back seat, and Beyonce, she's a pro at making it work. Let's rewind to the beginning. Even back in her Destiny's Child days, Beyonce was accused of taking songwriting credits for songs she didn't write. And it didn't stop there. Over the years, she's been called out for lifting choreography from dancers without permission, jacking songs from struggling artists, and then quietly paying settlements to keep it all under wraps. Now, before you start typing angry comments, let me be clear. Beyonce isn't the only one who does this. Madonna? Anyone? But Beyonce's rap sheet? Oh, it's longer than you could have ever imagined. Let's start with one of her biggest hits, Halo. This #1 ballad from her I Am Sasha Fierce album was actually written by BC Jean, a singer-songwriter who was inspired by her own breakup. BC wrote the song with producer Toby Gad and planned to release it as her own lead single. But then Beyonce's team got wind of it and, well, you know how this story goes. Beyonce recorded her own version, and BC was credited as the songwriter, which, let's be honest, is a little bizarre considering she never intended for anyone else to sing it. It's an amazing compliment, but I was like, that's great, but it's going to be on my album, BC said in 2011. And it can be on my album too. I just didn't realize how it worked. Now, BC later tried to downplay the drama, saying the internet exaggerated the claims. "The story is not as bad as everyone's saying it is," she said. "It's pretty much the best breakup ever, and the best experience ever." But let's be real, if the story wasn't that bad, why did she feel the need to clarify? Sounds like someone got a nice check and decided to keep it moving. Even Wendy herself got the wind of another hush copycat lawsuit that never saw the light of day.
His name is Matthew Fuchs, and he says that Beyonce's team watched his short film and copied it to recreate the Lemonade trailer.
And these weren't just accusations, because Matthew shared the receipts with Wendy.
First of all, they're saying, here's Beyonce with her head down, there's Matthew with his head down, there's Matthew's graffiti, here's Beyonce's graffiti. Okay, and next receipt. Okay, here's Matthew's garage with the lemon. Do you feel like Beyonce might have copied? Yes. Would this be her first time being accused of biting off somebody else's style? No.
But wait, thievery hasn't been the only thing Beyonce has been accused of all these years in the industry, because there were some poor artists who called Beyonce out for it, and they were never heard of again. You remember her, right? She had that huge hit in 2005, One Thing. It was everywhere, on the radio, in the clubs, on your playlist. That song was her moment. But then, just like that, she disappeared. And guess who might have had something to do with it? Yep, Beyonce. Now, Ameri's One Thing was unique. It had this fresh, funky sound that nobody else was doing at the time. But then in 2007, Beyonce dropped green light and people started noticing something off. The chorus, the vibe, it sounded a little too much like One Thing. Mary wasn't having it. She went on to record a mixtape, and the intro track, Because I Love It, was full of shade. She sang, "But you can't buy my sound, can't take my flow, can't bag my swag, no." Sound familiar? That's because it's a direct nod to the way she says no in One Thing. She was calling out the artist who tried to steal her style. And let's be real, we all know who she was talking about. But here's where it gets messy. The Beyhive wasn't about to let Ameri slide. Petitions to boycott her music started popping up, and thousands of people signed them. And just like that, Ameri's career took a nosedive. She hasn't had a major hit since, wait for it, 2007. Kia was also riding high in the music industry with hits like My Neck, My Back, and her collaboration with Janet Jackson on So Excited. But in 2010, she decided to take on the Queen Bey herself. And let's just say, it didn't end well. It all started with a series of fiery tweets. Kia didn't mince words, calling Beyonce unoriginal and accusing her of stealing from other artists. She even claimed Beyonce ripped off the name Beyhive from Lil' Kim's fans, who were already calling themselves the Beehive. The only difference? A couple of letters.
First of all, the video was tied and through and long, and it just made black people look bad as hell. You walk around with this blonde, long ass hair, but you want African queens and kings in your video. Had Serena as her goddamn jester dancing and stripping for us. I can't believe Serena got on there. It was Beyonce prop twerking.
The Beyhive, of course, wasn't having it. Kia found herself in heated online battles with fans, doubling down on her claims and even suggesting Beyonce didn't truly care about her loyal fan base. But here's where things took a turn. Fast forward to 2012, when Kia released her album, Motormouth, aka Kia Shimon. Despite her earlier success, the album flopped hard. It didn't crack the Billboard Hot 200, and none of the 12 singles managed to land on the Billboard Hot 100. Coincidence? Maybe, but it's hard not to notice the timing. And if you really dig deep into Beyonce's success, you realize that half of her legacy has been copied by other artists, and some even called her out on it. But as you already know, connections do wonders, and Beyonce was proclaimed a goddess of music. More recently, another artist slammed Bey for thievery. Kellis is not holding back. And honestly, we're here for it. The Milkshake singer recently called out Beyonce for using her iconic 2003 hit on Beyonce's new album, Renaissance. And the way it all went down has left Kellis feeling anything but sweet. The fifth track on Renaissance, Energy, interpolates Milkshake. But here's the kicker. Kellis had no idea. She found out the same way the rest of us did, when the track list and production credits dropped. Taking to her company's Instagram page, Bounty in Full, Kellis didn't mince words. My mind is blown too, because the level of disrespect and utter ignorance of all three parties involved is astounding, she wrote. I heard about this the same way everyone else did. Nothing is ever as it seems. Some of the people in this business have no soul or integrity, and they have everyone fooled. But Kellis wasn't done. In a follow-up comment, she made it clear, it's not a collab, it's theft. She took to Instagram stories to elaborate, and she came with receipts. Kellis said she doesn't necessarily care that Beyonce used Milkshake, it's the lack of common decency that got under her skin. Ashniko, who's 20, she reached out. Kellis said, referencing the young artist who sampled her work in the past, it's just common decency.
All of the stuff she sings about, all this empowerment and stuff, I don't talk about it, I am about it, okay? So the reality is, all of this female empowerment stuff, it only counts if you really do it. If you're really living it and walking the walk. Don't just talk the talk. It's real cute and fun to sing all these girls' songs. Come on now.
But wait, there's more. Kellis also had a beef with Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo, the duo behind Milkshake's production. They're credited on Energy alongside Beyonce, and Kellis isn't letting it slide. She's had issues with Pharrell and Chad for years, claiming they blatantly lied to and tricked her when she signed her first recording contract. According to Kellis, she made no money from her first 2 albums, despite originally agreeing to split everything 3 ways. Beyonce is one issue because it was stupid and disrespectful, and she should have at least reached out, Kellis said in her video. But the real issue is the fact that people like Pharrell and Chad, Pharrell knows better. This is a direct hit at me. He does this stuff all the time. It's very petty. And the reality is, it's frustrating. You might not remember, but Ciara was the girl in 2004. Goodies were everywhere, and she had the charts on lock. But fast forward a few years and things took a sharp turn, especially after a little back and forth with Beyonce. It all started with the inevitable comparisons. From the moment Ciara stepped onto the scene, people couldn't stop comparing her to Beyonce. And in 2009, Ciara finally had enough. When asked about the similarities between her music videos and Beyonce's, she didn't hold back. I find the comparison petty, Ciara told Honey magazine. She even pointed out that she had worn Theory Mugler-inspired outfits in her videos long before Beyonce did. I did my first video with my metal outfit. I was inspired by Theory Mugler. Now, from my understanding, Beyonce is using Theory Mugler for her tour. It just is what it is. It's very petty to me. But here's where things get messy. Shortly after those comments, Ciara's career took a nosedive. Her third album, Fantasy Ride, dropped in 2009, and let's just say, it didn't exactly set the world on fire. Sales were so low that KFC started giving the album away for free with every meal. Yes, you read that right, free with fried chicken. Ciara tried to bounce back a year later with Basic Instinct, but no luck. The album was a commercial flop, and Ciara blamed her record label for the lack of support. Then in 2013, she released her self-titled album, Ciara. While it opened with first-week sales of 60,000 copies, that was a far cry from the 338,000 copies her sophomore album, The Evolution, sold in its first week. Now, was it the Beyonce comments that derailed her career? Maybe, maybe not. But then again, it's hard not to notice the timing. The horror stories of Beyonce's stepping stones have been accumulating, but it's interesting that no one in the main media has the galls to document it.